Hi, I'm Abby, a founder of Thatch, and this is a deep dive on our consultation call service product. So, this video will cover what is a consultation call, how to book a consultation call, how to run a great consultation call, and finally, how to set up your consultation calls. Let's start with what is a consultation call. Consultation calls are a block of time that a traveler can reserve with a specific travel creator. These are really useful for digging into a destination, answering questions that are hard to research online or require a little bit of finesse around a traveler's specific preferences. For example, how long to stay in a particular city, what neighborhood might be best for them, whether there are trade offs between one town and another for the goals that a traveler has for their trip. So, these blocks of time with a travel creator can be incredibly helpful to answer a number of questions that helps the traveler advance their planning and make sure they're going to have a great trip. So I'm going to show you how to book a consultation call. This consultation call has already been set up by a fictional travel creator called Night Away Travel. You can see here a specific set of information that Night has written about their consultation calls. This is the place where you as a creator can say exactly what it is you are comfortable covering on your consultation calls. Then we'll link in your basics from your seller profile. So this is more about your bio, your languages, your focuses and specialties, and so on. As you come down the page, there's a package comparison. This just helps the traveler understand the difference between the different levels of a consultation call. And finally, there are some questions that are provided by Thatch, common questions that we know are going to be asked, and then our answers to those questions. Then comes the actual booking portion. The traveler can pick between three levels of calls with each travel creator. And when they advance on beyond here, they can then select a time for their video call. And this is all based off the availability that the creator set up when they created their call. I'm going to pick this 12:15 slot. This is where the questions will present that the creator set up. Really, you want to think about if you're a creator setting up a consultation call, what are you going to need to feel prepared on the call that you're going to have with a client? For your specific consultation calls, they may be more specialized or they may be more broad. If you are a travel creator offering these calls, you will get these answers to the questions in an email when the booking is confirmed. So this one is required. I can tell that by the star here. So stay is 1 week. And then I'm going to skip the other questions just for now. And then I will move on. So here you can see the confirmation page for the call, all the details that the traveler has just put in. And then they'll continue here to check out and move on. When this happens, you as the creator will get a meeting event added to your calendar that you configured with your consultation calls. You'll also get an email, like I mentioned, with all the details from this order. So, how to run a great consultation call. Once you've gotten an order, there are some key things to think about when you're running the consultation call. Number one, you want to start the call from a position of authority. You are the expert. The traveler is coming to speak to you. So, make sure you start by introducing yourself, uh, recapping very briefly what your expertise is. Summarize the questions and answers that you got from the client. So, you might say something like, I saw that you're going to San Francisco for a week and you really have questions around the food and the activities that you'll be able to do in town. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you have any other questions that come up on the call, we can continue and ask those as well. That really reflects to the client that you read the information ahead of time, that you are prepared and you're ready to go. The next piece of advice is you should have an agenda ready. So, what that agenda should entail is your introduction, your recap of the questions, and then plan to have some additional questions to prompt your traveler. Most typically, these run very smoothly. You'll just get into a conversation, they'll ask questions, you'll give answers, but you should be prepared for a more reserved traveler and you should have some good questions that you've jotted down that can draw out additional questions that they might have. You may have said some things over the course of the call where you want to have some follow up that you'll send to the client. You should be taking notes. You should recap at the end of the call what it is that you're going to follow up with. And then it's a really great practice to send an email after the call confirming the follow up or just delivering the follow up directly. So if it's something where you're going to need to go and do a little research and you won't be able to give the follow up right away, you can send a thank you note directly after the call just to say, hey, it was great to chat. Here's what we discussed. Here's the follow up I'm going to give you. I'll give you that follow up by whatever date you want to promise there and send them that. After that, you can send the full follow up. If you are giving follow up that involves specific place recommendations, maybe you mentioned a couple hotels on the call or you mentioned specific restaurants to go to, we highly recommend creating a custom Thatch guide and sending that as a private link to the client. In particular, if you are giving any hotel recommendations, that means that those hotel recommendations will become commissionable for you. Okay, now let's cover setting up a consultation call. So I just switched accounts here. Now I'm going to go down to my one-on-one consultation call. So I'll tap edit here. I'm in my consultation call setup. So you'll describe your service as I went over on the booking page. You'll define your 3 packages here. And again, they're really differentiated based on time and price. Then you'll add those questions. These questions can't be reordered. So think about the questions ahead of time, maybe jot them down in a notepad and then enter them in here when you're ready. This is the thing that's a little bit different about consultation calls. You will connect your Google Calendar here. So I already have a calendar connected, but if you don't, you'll see a little connect button here. This requires a Google Calendar. Those are free to set up. So if you don't have one, you can create one for your business. And then you will set your time zone and you'll set your availability. A client by default will not be able to book you within 24 hours. So it'll give them next day availability and on from there. And we will show them 10 days of availability into the future. So those pieces are automatically set up for you. And then here you're just defining what your availability is on each day of the week. This will be responsive to calendar events that you already have on your calendar. So if you are blocked for an hour because you have a meeting, that hour will not show as a bookable hour during the checkout process that I just showed you. Again, you'll have just your tags down here at the bottom. That's all pretty standard. And then you can save and publish. So that is how to set up your consultation calls. Thank you so much. And that's all for now.